It's been at least a week, but we're back and trying to get caught up. We can start with intentions and distractions. I'll go ahead and start. I am feeling burned out, to be honest. I'm grateful for warm clothes and blankets. And my intentions for this call is just to kind of catch up, maybe see if I missed out on anything while I was gone, and just get back on track, get my head back in the game. And distractions, there's just like a loud furnace and a dryer and like weird noises in the background. And I will pass it to Jake.
Thanks, Ash. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm still trying to do a whole bunch from last week and all the good stuff that came out of ETH Denver. So feeling still not rested, not in place, and won't be back to Tbilisi until later this week, where I'll be hibernating all weekend. Intentions for the call. Just kind of listen in, see it through what I kind of missed. Doesn't sound like there was probably too much since we took a break from the call last week. Distractions, just that I'm still trying to get into a place of like Zen. And I'll pass it to, hey, Nicola.
Thanks. Guys, like, I don't know what's up with me, but I'm kind of in the same boat with you. So it's good to know that we're not alone in this. I am feeling not really burnt out, but I'm feeling still like depleted, and I'm taking things very slow and easy on me, and making sure that I actually recharge and do the things that are good for me, so that I have my mental health in a good place and I'm energized and I can actually like jump in and do my high performance again. So this week I'm taking it easy, and also it's a full moon, so guys, just be gentle on yourselves. And I'm grateful for this recognition that I have within myself when I know that I need to slow down, and even if it means that I have to say no to some people that I really love and some things that I really love, I know that it's just going to be overall a good benefit for everybody, starting me. So the only distraction is that there's this beautiful loud bird that is just silent as I speak right now. I was hoping that you can hear it, guys, too, but never mind. I'm here with you. I want to hang out with you and share some good vibes. And I'm going to pass it to Franco.
Thank you, Nicola. So full moon energies, huh? I didn't know that. I'm gonna prepare for that. I'm feeling good today. I'm having some tea. My intention for the call is just catching up, streaming the call and listening, see what's happening, and no distractions at the moment. I'll pass it to Claire.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? Thanks, Franco. So my intentions for this call are, I've got a couple of things that maybe you might be interested in that I'd like to show you in orbit. But I have to leave at about 20 past, I'm afraid, today. So if we can squeeze it in, it'd be good. If not, no worries. I am grateful today for the spring that I see outside and all the newness that it brings with it. And I have no distractions. I think that's everything, isn't it? Back to you, Ash, I think. Tabi jumped in, but he can't hear us. Back to you, Ash.
There's the mute button. Okay. All right. So I don't think we have too many events coming up that we need to check in on. I know that we will probably, we made a lot of connections at ETH Denver, so I'm definitely going to have a lot of community spotlights and maybe some opportunities for Twitter spaces and things like this. So I have a feeling this calendar is going to be filling up soon. But right now we're just looking at our Giveth Essentials. Oh, and we've got Meet the Makers, April 19th. Let's see, add another one.
By the way, I don't know if you called me before, but my audio is working now.
Yay! Do you want to go ahead and do a check-in?
Always. Okay, so what are questions? How am I feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling actually energized. I think that the Fleet conference put me back into a really good mental state. My intentions for the call, maybe give some update about the Fleet. And I have no instructions. Well, I just need to feed my fauna, but that's it.
Oh, right. You said you. I don't know what I caught. I didn't catch what you needed to feed, but it's okay.
My fauna.
I don't know what
Cats and
that is.
dogs.
Oh, got you. All right. So Meet the Makers, April 19th. That's still quite a ways away. We've got time to plan. And this one is going to be environment. Can't spell. In Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Well, since you have to jump out early, Claire, why don't you go ahead and give us some updates on Orbit? Did you add it or okay, no.
Yeah, it's in there. Just below Aprendamos.
Oh, perfect. Oh, here we go.
So Orbit has some functionality that could help us. And I realized I was putting together a mural to try and collect all our ideas in one place and to begin thinking about GPS. Have you got it there?
Yeah, we'll see if it loads. You can keep going.
And as part of that, I was using Orbit to look into some sort of onboarding stats. And I noticed that we've been collecting these stats for about 4 months. And I noticed that out of 216 new joiners that we had, only 114 were even saying hi in our channel. And I noticed that we're really good at engaging and replying to people that introduce themselves in the channel, but that also some of these other ones are slipping through the net. Now, I didn't know how important that was, how committed people are that they join. But anyway, Orbit has this feature that we can use to track new members joining. And I wondered if it would be something that us as a group, because there's quite a few of us now, could use to help us track new members and to create a little bit more engagement right from the start. If you
Yeah, am I
click
showing
on
the right spot or did you want to share
yeah,
your screen or?
that was just the mural that I started to putting together to look at the onboarding process and see what's going on and see how we could create some kind of structure around it. But if you click on that, do you want me to share my screen?
Sure, that
Oh,
would
look,
be
yeah,
great.
it's not coming up, is it, on yours? Let me share mine. Let me find it. Okay. What's this? Okay. So it gives you a list of the most recent new members in the server, so those that pop up, and it gives you an opportunity to, my stream's still running, isn't it? To select status. So you can say when it's in progress, you can say when it's completed. There should be an option to allocate it to people as well. But I'm not quite sure where that is at the moment. But I just thought we could create a little process around some standard messages to try and find out a little bit more about why people have joined, because maybe people are shy when they come to introduce themselves. They might have a purpose. And we can use this to divide it up between us all. You can select on Discord only. So original source, Discord. And I just thought it might help us better track who's coming in, what they're doing, what their purpose is, how we can help them, rather than waiting for them to introduce themselves. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea to be welcoming people in the Discord. I noticed while we were at ETH Denver, Nicola has been really active in like the Say Hi channel and engaging with people, and it's been so great to see that. I try to do it as much as I can and empower other people to also do that. So I guess it's just a matter of people stepping up and messaging people.
Yeah, I think sometimes we're able to do it better than others, aren't we? I think sometimes we've got more things on, or but I wondered if this might help us get a bit of structure around it, and like we have in the support channels where we tick where something's done. This is a bit of a checklist, but it also allows us to put in more information about people when they join. We can add tags, we can see what they've been talking about, and we can use it to start building up a bit more of a picture about who our makers are, who our donors are, who our contributors are, and so on.
I have a question. How is
Sure.
this information then being extracted from the Discord to this
It's got an
log?
API feed.
So I don't have to do anything extra on top of just like talking to people.
Nothing extra, apart from if you wanted, you could come in and say, when it's completed or when it's in progress. And if you had any interesting conversations or any more information that you wanted to add, like what
Mhm.
role they were, you could add it into the orbit as well.
From my perspective, the why I actually I'm noticing that I really enjoy doing this is because it allows me to have this free type of conversation. In this specific way, I like to be more fluid and responsive to what feels right for me in the moment, rather than following a protocol or
Uh-huh.
like a structure. So maybe we can have like a option of questions that would be good to ask. But of course, if someone, I welcome them and I try to come up with something engaging, for example, hey, what are you grateful for today? Or somebody, people are just reacting to different things differently, I'm noticing. And so I am super happy to keep talking and talking to people and responding to what are their interests, definitely searching for like how did you find us, what are you specifically interested in, or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that. It's really about trying to find out what people are interested in and try and get them more engaged and get them talking. And this is just a way of just acknowledging that that's been done, to make sure nobody slips through the cracks. That was one of the two things that came out of our discussion last week, was to try and find out more about who is coming into our Discord server, get to know them better, and also to make sure that people weren't slipping through. So I thought this was a good way of addressing what we were
Yeah,
discussing last week.
totally. And also would be actually just really nice if more people stepped up, because I noticed that for a long time it was just Ashley really, and now I'm trying to step up a little bit. So it's if it's to two people right now, then um there is just only this much we can do and find out. But if just like everybody feels like, oh, whoever can actually sign up to this and recognize the value of it, and stuff, then I think it's definitely cool to have more tracking to it and get some data out, because it might be helpful for our community's KPIs.
And is this able to, I'm always going to be the promoter of HubSpot and be the CRM guy. So if I keep my mouth shut, then I'm not doing my job. How does this connect with HubSpot, and how can we connect it with HubSpot if it doesn't, just to make sure we're tracking and using the tools that we've already kind of put in play?
There is an integration. It's the next level up. We've got premium level access to Orbit as it is for free of charge for our nonprofit status. There is an integration with HubSpot. I did ask them if we could have it integrated because it's in like their super premium package, and I at the time I'd pushed it a bit too far, so they'd given us what they were willing to at the time. But I guess if we could see a use case for it, we can integrate it, or there may be a possibility that the devs could build something. I'm not sure. But at the moment,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
cool.
integrated, but it is possible.
Well, that's great to hear that it is. And then I always think it's kind of like we do the trial basis, make sure it works for everyone. Everyone's excited about it and using it. And then, then we talk about subscriptions or whatnot. So that's
Yeah.
great.
And we have been using this for I think about a year now. We've been using Orbit, and it's really nice because we can see all of their activity in GitHub. We can see the messages that people have made in GitHub, what they've said on Twitter, what they've said on Discord, all in their profile. So we can just go and see the types of things that they're talking about and the types of things. So I don't know exactly if HubSpot does that, but this really allows us to see which platforms they're in the forum as well. So all of our different platforms it brings up in here.
It's got some really good information, and I think this is a sort of a segue into being able to make it useful and to start really getting the most out of it. And the reports are really good. So I think this is a good sort of intro into our GPS as well, the sort of information that we can collect and be useful to make sure that we are doing the best we can for the community.
And I will say, the more, just one of the feedback notes that I'll be kind of passing along on a lot of the calls that I join is when we were meeting with impact investors and VCs, or just people that have those connections and also Giveth at its best at heart or best interest is, more analytics, more traction showing type of details is what they want to see. So not only internally with how many donors, unique donors, projects on the platform, amount of donations internally do we want to know, but the VCs and potentially raising funds, which I'm sure Kotabe can also speak to on the Web 2 more side. This is the stuff that they really want to see. So the more we can compile this type of information, the better chance we're going to have at securing fundraising. So I'm glad to see stuff like this. Well done, Claire, and just want to pass it along. And again, I'm sure Kotabe will bring up the same. But every call, and if there's people that weren't at ETH Denver, I think it's worth sharing some of that feedback every time we get on these calls.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, well, on my side, I think this is really great. Thanks, Clara, for diving in deeper into all this Orbit information. I can second what Jake said, on the conversations that I have had, or analytics and having a good sense of information of what's happening in your community, but also in some specific important analytics. That's always good, and that's always a good sign. They get happy when they see that you are at least very aware of statistics and numbers that are happening in the organization. In general, I really, really like this. And the thing that I had on my mind while you were discussing about this, and when Ashley brought up the theme of it would be great to have more people also contributing to this, just trying to engage new members. I think we can make a stretch for it, in general, the community working group. And I think also at some point we could have it as part of the ambassador program I guess that at some point a healthy community will be great. That some people are engaging and helping others, not necessarily from the team. And I think it will be very suitable for ambassadors as we keep designing that program. A task to be done. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Thanks. This was the Orbit app was something that was brought in by Ashley and Ezotech some time ago, but I think it's with this new lists feature that we can really make the most of. And you could, talking about the ambassador program, you could make a list for ambassadors and use it as a way of tracking and seeing what's going on. You know, we were talking about the different levels of reward. Well, actually, I think you could build that into one of these lists through the Discord. So I think it could be really good for that.
Okay, yeah. And well, thanks for bringing it up. I'm curious right now, how many seats do we have in orbit with
That
our
was my next thing. Do we do it by seats or have we got an organization membership?
Sure, I guess if our organization membership, but then if we need to know who is engaging with these people, then we would want to use seats. If it doesn't really matter who's doing what, then we could just use one user.
Yeah, I think we could do it like that because we can see who's engaging because we can just click on each person and see the interactions, I think. Shall I look into it? And if we need more seats and we've got a capped number of seats, I'll go back to Orbit and see if we can have like extra seats.
Yeah, let's look
Shall
and
I do
see
that
like
for
how
next
many
week?
we have available now.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then next week we'll retouch on this, and Almond will be back too. I think she'd like to maybe chime in on the ambassador. I know we're gonna have like a ambassador program meeting, so yeah. Because I mean, if we have all these different ambassadors also in here doing this, it's gonna be under one account. It's gonna be really hard to keep track of who did what, and yeah. But that's in the future. I mean, at least we can start now just engaging with people in the Discord.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if once we start using it, we'll find the different ways that we can use it to benefit what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I think for the kind of top level stats, if you like, who our new members are, who's joining, who's engaged, I think that's something that's really beneficial straight off. And also perhaps we can make use of these lists.
And
Yeah, and I
also
think there are some. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that also in my mind, I think that ambassadors can do it not from one like general account, but from their own account, more in like a peer-to-peer way. Like one of the ambassador things can be like help others joining the Discord and like help, I don't know, 20 people a week and just say hi to them, but from their own account as ambassadors. I don't know.
Oh
That's the
yeah,
way that I.
definitely
Yeah,
from their own account. But I mean, like if they wanted to take notes in Orbit or something, definitely if we can see that on Discord. But if we wanted to allow them to have access to the lists in Orbit,
Okay,
we
okay.
only have so
Fair.
many like
I
seats
didn't
in
think of
Orbit.
that.
Yeah.
I was thinking more from the perspective of us being able to see when each ambassador reached the next level of the program.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, I guess that makes sense too. I mean, it would be hard for us to kind of. Well, I guess we can maybe just search by their user. Yeah, there's definitely more. There's so many different possibilities with Orbit that it makes it kind of difficult to use because it's like you can do so many different things with it.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it was great. It was great because I was under a wrong impression. I don't know. Maybe we can like the person that has access is the one that can like helps coordinate ambassadors and maybe that's easier. But yeah, there's, as you say, a lot of more in-depth conversation that should go also when Almond is when we are setting up kind of like how the ambassador program will work with Almond.
Right. But let's keep it in mind that it's a possibility.
Thanks, everyone. I'm going to drop off now.
All right. Thanks, Claire. See you
later.
next time.
Bye.
So I'll jump back here. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just maybe before passing the page, since we are already talking about kind of like chiming in more to welcome new people, and it's something that has not been done. I just don't want to just let that comment to be left in the air. I know that I could do it more. For me, what will work, like the way that I kind of like don't spread thin, is if I kind of like I'm super organized about it, and I say kind of like, okay, so Fridays I can do 1 hour of welcoming. So that's the way that I know I can chime in and help more. Maybe maybe that will work for others. Maybe others can say, well, I can do it on Tuesday or Thursday or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Whatever works for you. If you can jump in and just like start engaging with people, or if you just like see in a Discord channel something that you're connected, somebody's talking about something that you align with or you feel passionate about, like jump into the conversation. Or maybe somebody comes in and introduces themselves and they're like, yeah, I'm part of this org, and maybe that's something that you're interested in knowing more about. So ask them and start a conversation. I know for me, it's like I try to do it before the AMA, at least like the day before the AMA, and start this like engagement so that I can invite people to the AMA. They know about it a day before. It's not like too far in advance. It seems to be like the perfect time to engage with people and invite them to the AMA. So I try to do that on Tuesdays for me, but I'm always in there like, what are people talking about here? What are people talking about there? It just, when it's only me or only like one or two people, it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I feel like I'm the only one. Like you just see me on all the channels, but it'd be really cool. Or even if like, somebody says something and of a cool article that talks about that subject, or like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree too. Just like maybe try to put a little more attention, a little more love with whatever works for you. If you want to be engaged, now I'm talking to anyone, So maybe let's just try to put some more stress on this importance of doing this and building more engagement and just slowly, step by step, trying to make things better. I know I'll keep continuing this. Like right after this call, I want to go and respond to that girl and let her know where she can subscribe and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think it kind of goes into this effort with the GPS and like our manifesto and stuff. So I just want to touch on this. I still left our notes here from the last time. So if anybody would just kind of wanted to brush up on this or add their thoughts of like what Communitas means to you, or what do you think in the working group is important to reach these things. So I don't know, Jake, maybe you weren't here, but maybe you wanted to add some comments if you had any. And then I'll make a doodle today. Probably our session will happen next week. I'll start. Before then, I don't know if Kotabe, if you're available, it would be nice, like me, you, and maybe Claire get together and pool together all these different resources that we've had and see, like, maybe make a plan for the GPS thing, and then I can facilitate it. It would be nice to like check in with you guys before setting it up and facilitating the whole session. So keep an eye out for the doodle. I'll make it today after this call. Would you be willing to do that beforehand? Like maybe later this week, like maybe on Friday, me, you, and Claire could get together?
Absolutely.
Okay, I should be in Seattle by then, so.
Super up for it.
Cool. All right. Panvola stamps. I saw Paul and I saw Naran at ETH Denver, but we didn't really have a chance to sync up and talk about this. I made a doodle, so hopefully their team will fill it out soon and we can move forward on this, but we'll have more information there. If you want to just like see what's going on or if you want to join us, feel free. There's links here to the Discord thread and to the doodle. Meet the Makers. Did you have updates about anything or need support on anything for Meet the Makers at this point? Nicola?
No, all is good. I mean, still, if you come across Spanish speaking projects that are actually verified, cool. Put them. You can DM them to me or put it in our Meet the Makers planning channel, which I know it may not be easy to find. So you can DM them to me if you have any projects, and I'll start. I think I'll start doing more outreach and creating more issues and just little work about it in a half, like at least in one more week. Yeah, in the middle of March. Slowly, we have a lot of time. So yeah, just nominate projects that you think would be good to speak about
Okay,
the Earth.
perfect.
I will do some outreach too.
All right.
And the outreach I'm happy to do too. I mean, that's what I was kind of planning on doing, the outreach. I would like just to make sure that if you have somebody who would actually confirm for that date, you let us know as soon as possible so that yeah, we don't end up just doubling or having too many, or just clear communication around this. But it's more like nominate a project, and if they speak English, I can still do the outreach. If they don't, we can work on this together.
Awesome. And Aprendamos, I feel like, is in a place where we're still waiting for design. I feel like Rodri is probably going to have some more space soon because of ETH Denver being over, and I know he was doing a lot of stuff for General Magic too, so I feel like unless anybody has updates on this, it's kind of on hold until designers are ready.
Yes, that's it. And also, I mean, from my side, I know that I need to do outreach for start recording the next episodes.
Okay, cool. Make a little note here. We talked about Orbit, People DAO, and Giveth. I was talking in the Discord thread with one of the projects getting onboarded. I sent a message to Rohek, but he's not the project owner of actually People DAO, so I think like trying to get them to get verified is the next step, and then helping them get their projects onboarded. This is one of the podcasts that we'll be doing soon, so look for it in the schedule. I know we're also going to do one with like Bankless There's going to be quite a few coming up, but this is one of the Twitter spaces to keep an eye out for. And then you wanted to do a flea highlight and let us know kind of like how it went.
Yes, I would love to do that. So if you want, you can click on that Notion site. It's on Giveth Notion. So basically, I'm trying to put all the everything that it's on my mind about what happened at Flea at that document. From the very, very broad perspective of what were our goals, what did we achieve, to very granular level where I'm saying like we talked with these people about this stuff, we talked with this person about this stuff. So basically, so the start of like you can go and check out the document if you're curious about what happened at the flea. Initially our objectives were find potential investors for our fundraising efforts, and increase our user base with quality projects and donors. We set some goals. Now, the important context on the goals, and maybe I should clarify it there, is when we had also the workshop was going to be practical. We wanted to onboard 10 projects and onboard at least 10 donors, initiate at least 20 valuable conversations with potential investors and partners, and that at least 5 of these 20 end up in something real. The actions that we took were we got a panel at the event. We got 4 people representing Giveth, 3 official DAO members, and 1 enthusiast, Maye. We got 1 free ticket and 1 at 40% discount. We prepared a link tree to introduce Giveth and ourselves. We got some swag to make an impression, and we network our assets up. And the results are kind of like color coded on finding potential investors for our fundraising efforts. Like it's yellow. We weren't able to find many investors ready to assess Giveth as a project for their pipeline. However, we did found at least 5 opportunities for Giveth to apply for fundraising. We got good insights of whom to approach, and likely we are going to get some interest as a result of this conference. And the like one of the insights there, I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but like most of the people from Web2 are going to struggle legally to be ready to hold tokens. And so I think that having that into consideration, we had a really good result, because a lot of the people that that were there will probably struggle to invest and give it. But we started sowing, we started like building relationships. And on the second objective, increase our user base with quality projects and donors. With projects, I think that the results were really, really good. With donors, I think that the results there were no results, not really good results. So we couldn't find many donors with crypto and self custody during the conference, and that there was similar to it, Denver. I imagine people, when you started conversations, there was kind of like limited attention span, and like trying to get someone to donate in that limited attention span, I think was more difficult. But like putting your foot on the door and trying to open an opportunity to collaborate later on, I think it was more valuable. So that's where we focused on. There were many foundations that seemed to be interested in givebacks and the matching fund model that might be interesting to explore with matching funds. So I do see some validation on that. And we found more than 5 individual projects interested in raising on Giveth, and that will get onboarded, I hope. And and we engaged with more than 5 organizations, about 10, that will be very interested in like doing some pilots with their own projects, because they have some projects. So that's a bit interesting. On the specific goals, we didn't onboard 10 projects. We didn't onboard 10 donors for the reasons that I already mentioned. But we did initiate at least 20 conversations with potential investors and partners. And I do feel that at least 5 of these will end up in something real, but that's to be seen, will be updated. And here is kind of like the granular level of all the conversation. So talking about fundraising, which maybe doesn't make sense. I don't want to waste your time here. If it's from another working group, but like with Mercy Corps, yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's go forward. And then organizations working with projects. There are a couple of crowdfunding platforms. It's like really focused on connecting donors with SDGs, really focused on NGOs in Mexico or Latin America. And I think with them, I talk about, will it make sense for them to integrate kind of like Giveth? Not, I said it's not ready, but like could make sense. And they have like, I think between the two of them, almost 700 projects, NGOs in Mexico. Then we have, for example, a group of organizations that are working with NGOs like Social Lab Colombia, Reforestamos, NUC, Ashoka, ESMEX, that are super interested on offering to their NGOs as a solution, or kind of like having a workshop for them and helping them understand how can they use Giveth. And some of these people are even like super excited. Like I can say that Vincent from Noob is super excited about launching a pilot with us. And I think that it will make a lot of sense. Um, and then there is kind of like another group, which is the foundations or organization or for profit that are already kind of like making donations. Like Kellogg is one of them. Postales de Café is one for-profit organizations that is donating to social projects, and I think they were very interested on like maybe being able to do it through Giveth and getting like these feedbacks or QF. I know Kellogg Foundation. They also were very interested on keep talking about things, and they said that they've been experimenting a lot with matching funds, and so they were very interested on this QF thing that for them feel very different. And one of the insight that they gave me that they actually have, they said like you should definitely talk with, I think it's Keep Funding. I need to check on that, but this a donor group for Hispanic communities, and they've been working with them, the Kellogg Foundation, I think with these matching funds. So he said like you should definitely talk with them. And a donor group, I don't think that we have many of them, so I'll try to really talk with these people or get an intro. Mm, So top high level, this is about it. I still need to work a little bit more on this kind of like debrief of the results. But yeah, the conclusion was not written by me, was by A, so don't mind it. Don't pay attention to it. Um, but yeah, any questions right now? I think I'm rambling.
I'm curious to explore how we can offer some more hand-holding using the Aprendamos movement or this, like if we're going to be out doing outreach for the next episodes or the next, workshops, how can we curate those sessions to these users so that we can continue holding their hands and helping them through the process?
Yeah, I don't know the how exactly right now, but I also like that was also one of the insights that I got from the conference. There's a lot of organizations working with crowdfunding platforms, and the general feeling was like it's not only about like having the crowdfunding platform and the technology. Some like projects need more hand holding, and they need more support when doing it. And so I don't know, like on my mind, the two things that can help us to do that. And I don't know if I'm answering the question, but yeah, like Aprendamos, if I can help to have like kind of like this asynchronous information, and then we can try to do these workshops with try to meet organizations or projects where they are. Hopefully, invite them to the AMA. But sometimes even Discord is a friction because they're not ready in there, and then they have to understand and figure out how to get to the AMA. So maybe like having some video about how to get on board the Discord. I'm not sure if we have it. But also sometimes just having some sessions, some kind of like intro sessions with new projects or in this case, if it's like SMEX or one of the organizations that is working with several organizations, we can have a workshop or with specifically with them and tell them how to get to the AMA, and maybe even create some small cohorts and see how it goes with having some groups that have more hand holding in the process. So, I don't know. That's just in my mind right now, but it's not very polished or
Yeah.
refined.
I know we do. I don't think we have one specifically for Discord, but I know that there's already some made out there. So we'll just have to find one to share. And then I'm just curious, like, is there a theme for the next podcast or the next, Aprendamos, or is there something that we can record within that like choosing the theme that would also speak to these users that we could then share it with them afterwards, you know?
Yeah, I think we have like 4 or 5 themes on the pipeline. One is about Giveth itself, and then there are about like problems and solutions with of nonprofits, and there are a few. Maybe we can revisit one that makes sense for them to jump. What would be kind of like the topic that you have in your mind, Ashley?
Well, I'm not really sure because I didn't like talk with all of them, but make, you know, like what would be the next step in the hand holding process if we were to hold the hand of these different organizations? Like what would be the next steps for them, and how can we like hit all of those next steps like in an episode kind of?
I think on the Giveth one, that will make a lot of sense. Like kind of like share a little bit of these best practices and say, hey, come to the AMA call. Like we are actually having people there that has a lot of experience and that if you're stuck anywhere can help you there. And like
Yeah.
just joining Discord, this like this and that, and here's a video. We'll add it to the description. A link to a video about how to join Giveth Discord or so on and so forth. I think that
Yeah.
that one will be a good video for a good episode for that.
I'm also curious if there's any of our like video course videos that would be useful to translate into Spanish and do like a Spanish version of those videos that are helpful for like this specific crowd.
Probably, yeah, probably could be a
Because I
side
mean
project.
the scripts are already there, you know, it's just a matter of running through the video and saying the things in Spanish.
Yeah, true. It's actually no effort.
Yeah. So I guess these are things that I could see would be useful coming out of this.
Yeah, you're writing it down. Oh, that's it from my side.
Okay, well I just made a couple of notes here in the document, but yeah, maybe have you guys figured out like a weekly sync for Aprendamos or not really?
We don't have a fixed time for it.
Okay.
I think that I think with Denver and Flea it was a bit more complicated, but I do see us kind of like dedicating way more time to this on the days to come. So I'll sync in with Almond.
Cool. Yeah, I think that now that ETH Denver and Flea are both over, it's a good time. We have more space, and also it's like right around if you're gonna be launching the first episode live, then it's good time for planning the next one, and we can take some of this insight into account when planning. The practice workshop with the Solar Punk Guild, I didn't download the link in time, so if you could resend me the WeTransfer link, Kotabe, I can get it on the YouTube. I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that
No,
it
no,
like expired so quickly, and it was like 2 days later.
no worries. I actually just resend you the one that Franco sent me, so I'll just cut myself from the middle, and maybe Franco can send it to you directly.
Oh, okay, cool. Franco? Okay, cool. No, I wasn't sure if like you were there and heard it, or I know you're just streaming also, so no worry. Cool. No, it's all good. Thank you. Okay, ambassador program. We kind of touched on this. We'll have a next session to discuss like the rewards and stuff. So if you guys haven't had a chance, like add maybe any ideas about how the reward system could work in this Notion document. I know a few of us have gotten in there and added our ideas so far, so I think we have enough to move forward. But if you have, something pops up and you're like, this could be a great reward or something like this, please add it in the Notion. And then back to the manifesto and the GPS. I said we'll have this little session and I will send out a doodle after this call for starting like next week, and we can get together next week and move forward on this and hopefully like finish it. Let's see what's after this. See if Hurts. Hey, Miguel sent me the video yesterday. So that will be up in... I can put that up too today. This is about the gravity one. I should maybe bring this up in comms too. Okay. Anything around conflict resolution, Nicola?
No, Rafael, nice. That's nice. I'm like celebrating that Miguel delivered something. And that's my genuine foolish reaction. And also conflict resolution group. Yes. Well, we are going to be addressing actually some cases this month, and also I'm working on, as I mentioned already, this month is big for me, speaking of conflict resolution and mediation, and actually Gravity's work within Giveth, as well as I'm finalizing production of the conflict of the online course. So basically whoever sorry guys, now I'm just got a little bit entangled in my own words. Yeah, I'm finishing up my piece on contributing to this online course, and we will be launching together with Gravity DAO this online course this month. So that's something, if you're interested in, at the end of this month, hopefully you will be able to take this online course and learn more about conflict. And even if you don't plan to be active gravitons, it's just really great for learning how to address conflicts within your personal life, internally or externally. And also, planning on posting a forum post this month with help of Heather, and just bringing some more clarity about how can we scale conflict, how can we approach it and use the support of the gravitons, etc. So that's just my plan for this month. So yeah, and if you have any questions or any tension or anything like you want to address, feel free to reach out. We should have a sync up this Friday, but I'm feeling into actually rescheduling for next Friday. Yeah, that's all.
Wow, that's really exciting. So if you complete this online course, you will be like a graviton.
Yeah, you'll get certified, most likely collect this whole collection of POAPs for completing the course, and not only become a graviton, but also, it will open up some membership for the Gravity DAO. And yeah, there's a lot of cool things brewing in there.
Cool. I'll definitely keep us posted on that. Do you work in builders? I haven't seen anything in there. Impact quests, we are still going to continue them for one more week. So if you didn't get a chance to participate and want to participate, you can still do so for another week. And looks like the interactive map forum post is still up. Let's see what's down here. Do we have any updates on this DAO Voss thing, Jake?
What was that, Ash?
This thing, we ended up moving in the icebox quite a while ago, the Davos.
They have just, Davos just completely have stopped responding to me in the forum. They just put a forum post about trying to get active before the Davos meeting in Switzerland, and that happened, a month ago, and they stopped responding to me. So, I mean, I have a note, I think, in the CRM to like touch base with them at some point this month, just like one last shout out. But if you want to remove it and then me give you an update, I think that's just as easy as leaving it and me giving you an update when I try one last time.
Cool. This Pluto view thing has been in here so long. Okay, and then the donor roadmap, I think that we're still kind of waiting on the finishing of the GPS session. So soon we can move that out of the icebox. Well, it looks like we've only got 2 minutes until the top of the hour. Is there anything anybody wanted to bring up in these last few moments? All right. Well, thanks for
Thank you for
coming.
hosting.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not like so gung-ho today, but I promise next week I'll be more in it and have my head back in the game. It was just a very long week and very draining for me to be around so many people and interacting so much. So I'm still a little not here.
Take some time for yourself, Ashley.
Yeah, I rented an Airbnb with a hot tub.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, you guys. And yeah, I'm glad that we still had this call, and keep an eye out for that doodle for the GPS session. I'll make it right now.
Cool.
Thanks, everyone. Good to hear you.
Have a